documents that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live. For the most part, my sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharpe, Simone, they have all been for the world to see.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I'm going to keep telling y'all, man, I don't get the credit. I was the first person to reveal this woman was an unlicensed psychologist, aka doctor. But she still is on a generational run, a generational lie, trying to convince us she a doctor. But this woman, the black woman, she said, bitch, where are the documents?
What do you say to people who say that sound advice that you're giving, but you've never been married? You know, you don't have any children. How can you give relationship advice, family advice, whatnot? What's your response?
This is my favorite question, by the way, my absolutely favorite question. I say this, I don't teach people how to be married. That is a covenant and agreement that you two make together. Only you know how to marry and have your covenant with God. I teach people how to get out of their own way. I teach you how to get past your trauma, past your parental issues, so you don't come and bleed onto that relationship. See, look, happy, healthy people make happy, healthy relationships, and traumatized out people create trauma bonds. And so,
man, this woman she full of shit. When she went on Cam Newton podcast and sat down there, she tried to grill into his personal life on how and why he wasn't married to his particular significant other. You wasn't teaching him to fix himself. You was looking for a moment. And another reason why is it was very important for this woman to have a license. If she was a doctor, it would have protected her clients for confidentiality. You know what I'm saying? It would have protected Offset, the Bow Wows, the Cam Newtons. Why are you bringing up my personal life and dealings on the internet? She a fraud, bro. And I've been exposed to her. I've been saying she didn't have a license and showed y'all. Now it's coming back to fruition. I guess House of Hypocrites and Corey Holcomb was right. See, Corey Holcomb mentioned it. I went to go do the research to put it to the goddamn internet. Y'all say Corey don't do the goddamn research. Sometimes he goddamn don't, but sometimes it's hit or miss. He was right on that.
The goal for me is to say, if I can get you all to be in alignment with yourself, your three-part house is what I talk about in the book, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. If that can align, then guess what? Y'all can align. But if you can't align with yourself, what makes you think you can align or even be at peace with somebody else? It doesn't work like that.
Can you begin to learn more about yourself, though, in the process of forming that relationship? You don't have to stay single to get that.
Listen, girl, you cooking, girl. I love this. Because I always say there's a lot that you can get from books, a lot you can get from principle, from tools, but there's a whole lot you got to just learn on the job. There's a lot of things that you just have to learn by experiencing it and being. This is why the wilderness is so important, because the wilderness is giving you experience. You're learning on the job. Relationships, marriages also have a wilderness season. It's not kumbaya the entire relationship. So when you all are in the wilderness, that means you're learning yourself, you're learning the relationship, and you're learning how to love on each other. The Bible says love each other by knowledge. The knowledge piece is your recipe. It's not about giving them what you want them to have. It's let me give you what serves you. I'll land on this. Marriage is a service position. Can you serve? Can you serve the person or not serve yourself? That's what it's about.
Can you serve us with some goddamn documents that you have a goddamn degree as a doctor? You came on this show as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It's right there. How to read. What did I say? Oh, how to reach full potential with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Maybe they should fix those lettering and colorings or whatever. I know she like purple is cool. But yeah, can you provide those credentials?
Oh, yeah. I have to ask you this. I have a segment here called Motivation with Marissa, and I know you're a motivator for many people, and oftentimes when you have that, role, that moniker. You're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle. That's his.
Why do people always try to turn to God when their wicked behavior has been exposed? You came on here and said this is why you haven't gotten a license. Then a real clinical psychologist that's a doctor in your field came out and exposed the true nature in what you're doing. She said it's very critical and it's very misleading to say she don't have a license because you have to go through insurance, or she has to be on the she don't want to be governed by a body to, restrict her for doing this and that, X, Y, and Z. You want to use God to come out this shit because you sitting down with a black woman who have a black audience, probably a lot of black women that can connect with a spiritual sense and a spiritual word, and forget all about the goddamn reality and the credentials that you do not have. So I don't know why people, especially black people, resort to speaking about God when you caught up in some bullshit. Stormy Daniels, God. Derrick Jackson and his wife, God. And it's nothing wrong with serving God, praising God, but don't try to use them when the public own to your bullshit. And now you want to escape the accountability by talking about God because we don't want to question your relationship with God. But this some old bullshit.
That are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharpe, Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated.
So the only work this woman has had, no. The only work she has had has been on camera with these celebrities. My work has been live. So you consider that your therapy session. She considered sitting down with Simone, sitting down with goddamn Cam Newton or whoever else. She think this is her therapy coaching sessions live. She thinks she Ayana of Yvonne. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This woman is a danger to anybody spending money with her. Cause ain't no goddamn way she think we believe that's one of her therapy professional settings, life coaching settings, for her to have some type of credentials. Am I tripping?
And I'm successful in my lane, and I land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you just got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah, right. Because I earned it. Absolutely.
You see that? You see that? Okay. Nah. It's gonna be
well, thank you. I know you're gonna hang around and
hold on.
Thank you for asking the hard questions.
Well,
I appreciate that.
I'm a journalist with 2 degrees at the end of the day,
many?
and so I had 2.
Come on, girl.
Yes, Northwestern and Emory University. So I had to make
go.
sure I display that as well as a journalist. So thank you for coming and for hanging around. We're gonna have some fun in just a little bit.
Ah, yeah, man. She took some goddamn shots. Nah, man. This woman is about to have an open investigation on her ass for parlaying around as if she's a doctor. And then she just said she is taking clients. And didn't even specify on of it being life coaching or therapy sessions or some type of psychology work. This woman is cooked, bro. And I'm not going to feel bad for her. Shout out to Miss Marissa for saying, hey, I got 2 degrees and I can show you. But she know that woman ain't no goddamn doctor. This was a 11-minute interview on a local Fox News. And most definitely, they going to look into this woman like I did. Leave y'all thoughts.